I'm sure all of you would have heard the term impact factor when choosing a journal. But did you know there are other journal metrics as well, such as CiteScore, SJR, SNP that you should be looking at too? When I made my last video on how to publish in Scopus and Web of Science Index journals, so many of you commented saying you'd love a video on this topic. So here I am, ready to break it all down for you. Hi everyone, I am Neha Agrawal. I'm the founder of WiseUp, and in this video we are going to talk all about journal metrics, what they are, which ones truly matter, and how to use them smartly when deciding where to publish. So let's get started. So first, let's understand what are journal metrics and why should we even care. Think about it this way. There are lakhs of research papers that are being published every year. So out of these, how do we know which journal is actually publishing impactful work? That is where journal metrics come in. Journal metrics are like a scorecard. Each journal has a score or a number that decides how reputable or influential that journal is. This can be used by students, researchers, and even funding agencies understand the credibility of the journal and where it stands in the academic world. For you, it can be really useful when deciding which journal to publish in, and even during the literature review stage to understand which journal or paper has more credibility over the other. So now that we know what are journal metrics and why they matter, let's talk about the 4 most important ones you will come across. First is Journal Impact Factor or JIF. This metric is calculated and published by Clarivate under their Web of Science database, and it is one of the most popular journal metrics out there. Journal Impact Factor, as the name suggests, measures the impact of the journal based on the citations it has received. This is how it is calculated. Take the total number of citations that the journal has received in a particular year for the papers that were published in the past 2 years, and then you divide it by the total number of papers that were published in those past 2 years. So for example, if the journal impact factor is 5, that means on an average, a paper that was published in this journal has been cited a total of 5 times in the past 2 years. So now the question is, what is a good impact factor? Some people say anything above 2 is good, while some say anything above 5 is great. But here's the truth. Citation patterns vary quite a lot from field to field. So an impact factor of 5 must be considered great for environmental engineering, but considered low for a field like biomedical sciences where average citations are much higher. So don't compare journals across different disciplines just based on impact factor. Instead, what you should do is try to find out what is a good impact factor in your field, and that you can do by speaking to PhD scholars, postdocs, professors who are actively working in that area. Now next is CiteScore, which is again a very popular journal metric. CiteScore is calculated and published by Elsevier under their Scopus database. Now it is similar to impact factor in the sense that it also takes into consideration the citations that has been received by the journal. But there are few key differences. CiteScore looks at the 4-year window instead of a 2-year window by impact factor. So this is how CiteScore is calculated. Take the total number of citations that the journal has received in the past 4 years, divided by the total number of documents that has been published by the journal in those 4 years. So for example, if a journal CiteScore is 6, that means on an average, a document published in that journal has been cited a total of 6 times in those 4 years. Now another difference is that while impact factor considers only research papers and review articles, CiteScore considers more document types such as editorials, conference proceedings, short communication, etc., making it more holistic and transparent. Now here's a very practical question. When you go on a journal's website, you will see both impact factor and CiteScore listed. So how are you supposed to interpret them? So for that, let's go back to the formulas. Journal impact factor looks at the citations received in 1 year for papers that were published in past 2 years. So it's more like a snapshot of recent influence. Basically, is this journal publishing papers that is getting attention quickly? On the other hand, CiteScore looks at the total citations received by the journal in a 4-year period for all the papers published in those 4 years. So it gives you a broader view of the journal's consistent performance and stability over time. So the best approach is to look at both metrics together. Use impact factor to understand the journal's recent popularity and use site score to understand its long-term consistent performance. And most importantly, don't compare journals from different disciplines using these two numbers. So till now, we've been talking all about journal metrics and how can we publish our paper in high impact journals. But the first step to publishing in a good journal is to write a high quality paper. And for this, I can help you out. In my course on A to Z of research paper writing, I teach you from scratch how to choose a research topic, how to write each and every section of a research paper, how to avoid plagiarism, how to cite and reference information properly, and how to choose impactful journals to publish your work. And most importantly, I cover all the different AI tools that you can use to make this entire process faster and more efficient. To know more about my course, you can check out the link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now let's talk about the next journal metric, which is SJR or Scimago Journal Rank. SJR is also published by Elsevier under its Scopus database. Now, while impact factor and site score count the number of citations a journal has received, SJR also takes into account where those citations are coming from. Or in simple terms, citations from a more reputable journal is given more weightage. Think of it like getting a vote from someone influential. It counts more. This makes SJR a prestige-weighted metric and can be really useful when you want to assess the quality of a journal and not just quantity. Now, SJR is typically expressed as decimal values, for example, 0.8, 1.2, 2.8, and it could be higher for even more prestigious journals. So, higher the number, the more prestige-weighted citations that journal has received. Now, the last and the final journal metric you should be paying attention to, and personally something I find really valuable, is SNIP or Source Nominalized Impact per Paper. So, as the name suggests, SNIP helps in normalizing the differences in citations across fields. Some research areas like medicine or physics naturally receive more citations as compared to fields like social sciences or mathematics. So SNIP helps in adjusting for these differences, allowing journals from different disciplines to be compared more fairly. Now SNIP values are typically centered around 1. So a SNIP of 1 means that the journal is performing average for its field. A SNIP of higher than 1 means it's performing better than average, and lower than 1 means it's performing lesser than average for its field. So a SNIP value of 1.5 means that a journal is receiving 50% more citations than an average journal in its field. And a SNIP value of 0.8 means that the journal is receiving 20% lesser citations for an average journal in its field. Now, if you go to journal websites, you will definitely find impact factor and site score listed, but values of SJR or SNIP may or may not be present. So for that, you can go directly to the Scopus website, type in your journal's name and find the SNIP or the SJR scores from there. Now, if you remember, we had discussed that SNIP is published by Elsevier. So similar to SNIP, Clarivate has also come up with its own journal metric called as JCI or Journal Citation Indicator. Now, even though JCI looks at different citation windows and the calculation process is different, the purpose of this value is the same as that of SNIP. So when you look at JCI listed on any journal website, think about it functioning in the same manner as that of a SNIP score. Now, apart from these, there are a few other metrics as well, such as H-index, article influence score, eigenfactor score, etc. But these are usually used for specific academic or institutional evaluations and not commonly used when choosing a journal to publish in. So just focusing on the big four, which is impact factor, site score, SJR, SNIP or JCI, is more than enough to make smart publishing as well as literature review decisions. So guys, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope this video has given you a good understanding of what are journal metrics and how to utilize them effectively. Now, if you wish to learn in detail how to write a research paper to get published in high impact journals, you can join me for my course on A to Z of research paper writing. To know more, link is in the description and in the pinned comment. And now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.